legally telling you that we're going to record right now.
We're recording for legal purposes. I told you, okay? That's done. Okay, go ahead. Crystal said, what did we rate this book?
What did we rate?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
No, 4 out of 5.
5 or out of
4
10?
out of 5?
4 out of 5. Yeah, 4.
Judith was like, no.
Mine's a 3.
I think like 3.5 plus 4.
I was thinking 3 too. I was thinking a 3 too, like 3.5 to 4.
Yeah, 3.5.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Pretty solid.
Rounded up though.
What do you rate it, Crystal?
3.5.
I thought I gave it a 5 on Goodreads, but because, I don't know, I felt very positive about the ending. Like, I felt like she was going towards the right direction. I was like, okay, it ended on a good note. Like, she's improving herself. Like, she got a dog, and I got excited. So that's why I gave it a 5. But yeah, it's like, if I look at, like, the whole thing, it's like, yeah, probably like a 4. I think it went by really quickly, but I feel like there was a lot of missing areas.
I'm dying. I don't know what's wrong with me. Woof.
I think I ended up
So I gave it a 3 because, I mean, it was good, but there were certain sections that I feel like at the end, there was, like, we never really got anything about Henry. Okay, what happened?
Other than he left. Like, yeah. She kind of was like, she turned on him.
Yeah, like, he appeared. Apparently, he was interested or whatever. Oh, my God, I'm really, like...
Coronavirus.
I know, man. That's crazy. Let's hope not. But I don't know. I feel like the ending is just, like, not rushed, but kind of.
Climax.
Yeah, because, okay, so Strain died, and then she runs into, like, she's trying to get her shit together, which I understand, but when they were going through, like, the past, like, obviously, throughout the book, we kept going back and forth, and we kept getting a lot of details, but I feel like towards the end, more of the past was like, oh, like, my dad is sick, and my mom is disappointed at me. Oh, I wanted a dog, so I went to go get a dog. And I'm like, there was, like, completely different than, like, how we started, or, like, the whole book was.
Super detailed.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I get it. You want to end it, and you don't want to, I don't know.
Make it 600 pages.
Huh?
I definitely feel like, yeah, she could have gone on a little further about, like, you know, her therapy sessions and how they were actually improving. Or, like, her thought process of, like, actually wanting a dog and the reasons why. Like, well, because it's an emotional support animal, he helps me because of this. Like, you know, like, that sort of stuff. And it kind of, like, the last time she ran into, what's her name, Tyler?
Taylor.
Like, yeah, like, it was kind of just, like, a very rushed, like, oh, she saw the dog.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there was more there other than, like, I feel like they could have had a much longer conversation about what had happened to both of them, especially since she had already come to the realization, like, yeah, I was, like, whatever had happened to her.
Yeah.
And the article, too, was so disappointing.
Oh,
How
yeah.
they described it.
The whole time, and then it was, like, brushed off, and it wasn't even, like, I don't know. And I guess it's like, I mean, at least Taylor was like, oh, I really wanted it to make me feel better and do all this for me, but it didn't, which I guess, hey, sometimes stuff doesn't go your way, but at the same time, I'm like, they put a lot into that, y luego no pasó nada.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Like, I think we were expecting something a little more dramatic based on, like, what we had read in the rest of the story, and then it was, in a sense, a good ending because it seems like she's resolved most of her problems and she's going on a more positive route, but I think it was not as dramatic as I expected, for sure.
Yeah. I do, however, like, she had said something about, like, when she had realized, oh, Henry's coming on to me, when she says it's not about, what did she say? It's not about wanting these men. I was like, but rather like to be them, like in their position.
Oh yeah.
It's like maybe that's like, I don't know, like does she become a teacher? Does she like, like I would want to know.
Well, it was
like,
interesting
more.
when she started doing the child services thing. I was like, oh my gosh, look, it's like you're going through, like you went through this, and it seems like you're gonna want to help do something. I mean, yeah, she started just doing like paperwork, but I'm like, maybe she's gonna end up in helping some of these girls out or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe she does. We don't know. It didn't really say, right?
No.
I thought it was interesting how she told, well, I don't remember who she told, but she said something about that she had to make it a great love story. And I feel like that's kind of what we were saying before, that she was so much in denial, right? So she was trying to make her situation with Strain a great love story instead of like what it truly was.
Yeah.
I think she said it to her therapist, right?
Yeah.
Where she's like, I need this. I need this.
Yeah, she was also saying that.
I think that's when it was, yeah.
It was around those quotes is where I didn't write. I wrote something because she was like, this isn't just a love story. This is my life. So I feel like that's why she was like, I can't let this end, or I can't let this die. Because then it's like, what the hell happened over those 7 years? They were like wasted. And I kept thinking, I was like, oh, it's probably like she's thinking of it like if you're not, like if you're married to someone or you're in a relationship for a long period of time, you did so much with them and then they're gone. And then you're left with nothing. Well, not nothing, but you know what I mean? But I don't know.
That's all he
It was
needs.
when she was talking to Taylor.
What was that?
She was talking to Taylor when they were having the discussion in the coffee shop. That's when she said it. It was like a great story, but not, she didn't consider herself that she was being abused.
And then she also said, like, let me go look for that quote. Because I wrote something about it and I was like, ooh. ¿Dónde lo puse? No, that's a call.
I can't read my own writing. That's embarrassing. I'm like half asleep when I'm writing my notes. Like, this. Wanting to be. Oh, these men.
Oh, and she's like, it's ridiculous for you to. Oh, this one. Well, it's on the PDF. It's on 274. So it's chapter 2017. Oh, it's the first chapter. The quote that I highlighted was, it's italicized, and it's ridiculous for you to demand so much when I'm the one who bore the brunt of him. I'm the one marked for life. So like it reminded me of how the therapist was saying that she always like under exaggerates, like whatever she says, like, it's more than that. But it's funny how here she's like, I've gone through worse. Like she knows. So that's what she's like, you're making a big deal. Like I went through, I'm the one who experienced and was like traumatized, yet she's over here not doing much, which kind of like, it shows that the therapist is right, because she's not doing anything about it, even though she went through some shit. But at the same time, she's like, she knows how bad it was, which, like, I feel like throughout the novel, she knew. She just never.
Do you think it's because she was kind of like pressuring her, telling her, like, tell me, what did he specifically do to you? Like, did he rape you? Like, physically rape you? Yeah. Like, I feel like she was so fixed on that. Like, she wanted to know that he didn't have sex with any of these other girls. He only touched them. Maybe that's why she's like, oh.
I feel like on some parts, now that you mentioned that, like, I feel she's like, oh, I went through the worst of it all in terms of, like, being treated badly. But then she goes and says, like, oh, the other girls were nothing compared to me, right? So I feel like that's another way she's kind of going back and forth between the two different perspectives.
That's what I was going to say. It's like, not that she's hypocritical, which reminds me of why, like, I just had a connection. You know how when she's going through the little child services or whatever, or like the paper Like with that little story with the little girl and the mom, I don't understand why that happened, but the fact that hypocritical was there, right? That's what she wrote. You guys did not see that?
I remember.
Can you remind me of the part?
It's at the end.
I vaguely.
She started a job, and she's like,
Oh, she calls her mom hypocritical.
What was that?
She calls her mom hypocritical, right? Or she thinks it, something like that.
So
I remember now.
I mean, I'm not 100% sure why that was mentioned. Like, I get it. The little girl is going through some shit too, and like obviously she's going through all this paperwork and stuff. But now that I think about it, I think she's very hypocritical because she says one thing and then she does another, or she, you know, like you said, she's very on and off. I still don't know why that was there though. It was like, why go into that detail and not so much about, I don't know. It's okay. I'm clearly not a fan.
Maybe the author put it there though. She wants us to know that this is hypocritical.
I know, like, oh yeah.
Oh my god, I've been trying to talk and I was on mute.
Oh my god, Crystal. No wonder I was like,
You probably thought we were just talking over you.
She's like, hello?
Like, why are they not listening?
Sorry.
Oh.
That's funny.
And now I don't even want to tell you guys.
Wow, it wasn't our fault. It was you.
I forgot. Jaylene mentioned something. I forgot what it was, but it reminded me that I was thinking that she was always like in a competition with all these other girls. Like when the teacher was with Strain, like when she would be walking, she'd be like, "What is she doing with her?" Like, "Oh, I bet he doesn't do this to her," or like to all the other girls when like, "Oh, what did he do to you? What did he do to you? Like, did he only touch you? I'm the only one he loved. Like, I was superior and you were nothing." And even with the new professor and his wife, like when he hung up on her and he's like, "Oh, I have to go," she's like, "Oh, it felt like a triumph." Like that. He chose her over her. So it's like, I don't know. She was always competing against these other, like,
and she was mentally competing with all, like, every other girl out there.
I feel like I wonder if it's because of her low self-esteem, you know, because she pretty much values herself based on how much the other men want her. And then if someone else is wanting the person that she thinks wants her, then she views the other person as a threat.
But then it was just so confusing how she was like that, but then still, like, I don't know who mentioned it. She was like going back and forth between like, I got the worst of it, but he loved me and not any of you. Like, you were nothing to him.
Yeah.
So
like, she always makes sure to say he was careful. He always made sure that I consented. But in reality, it's like he asked you once he was already inside you. Like.
And then
the part where.
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you. The part where it says again, like, you don't need to be good with me, and like how Strain was saying that he was really bad with her. It reminded me of the Harley Quinn Joker relationship in DC Comics. I know that's kind of like a very different genre, but that's like what happens in their relationship. He's pretty mean. Like, if you read the comics, I haven't read all of them, but my sister has. He's very mean to Harley Quinn, and like he throws her in the vat of acid, and that's why her face turns white. And it was also like a relationship that shouldn't have happened because he was an inmate in the mental asylum and she was a psychologist or psychiatrist. And then it's like supposedly like very like abusive, and that's why Harley Quinn's all kinds of messed up in the comics. So that was something kind of funky that I thought. And I noticed there was a lot of like references to psychology. Like the part where she said, "My mouth waters as if a bell's been rung." So then I read in the back of the book how the author has, I think, a background in that or in writing. So I wonder, like, since this book with her trauma has a lot of references to psychology and mental illness and like PTSD and stuff, I was wondering like if the author ever studied that in her, since she has a PhD in English. Oh, that was it.
Yeah, it was interesting how when Strain was calling her, and then when he's like, I'm going to your place. Mm-hmm. At first, I was like, dude, what the fuck is? I can just imagine him like running and someone's like chasing him. I don't know why. Although I'm pretty sure nobody was.
Like, it was super intense. Like he was about to kill her. Like really do some damage.
Well, he pushed her. Like he was actually got kind of aggressive.
Yeah,
but
the stupidest thing is that they still had sex. Like I was like, what the hell?
How do you?
But she was focusing on other things, right? Like she was saying, she was seeing the living room, the kitchen.
She was hugging the kitten, and then she kind of went back and she's like, oh, like he's still like, she can hear the bed and she can hear the pounding, and I was like, oh my god, like in that section I kind of got lost because at first I was like, oh, I missed the part where she's imagining herself going to the kitchen. And then she comes back and I was like, wait a second. Oh my god.
It's twisted.
Horrible. Because she's older and she's still
she still puts up with it.
There.
Like, she still believes that that's what love is supposed to feel like.
Yeah. Well, even when she was hooking up with that guy she met on, I don't know if she met him online, but she even said, I just feel like a vessel that they can empty themselves into. Because even with him, right, she was still imagining herself somewhere else.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's just she hasn't dealt with whatever she needs to figure out to have a healthy relationship.
I think again that kind of takes back to because she was introduced to all this stuff like at such a young age that it's like growing up at 15. This is what she felt like, or she believed at the time. That's what a relationship is supposed to feel like. That she went into adulthood, sadly, feeling like that's what relationships are supposed to be like. Like she's never felt like you know the normal feelings like when you go through puberty and stuff and you like a boy and you know like that sort of stuff. She never got to experience any of that.
I was gonna say I feel like she also got very comfortable with all this like darkness because like. Even I think she was with her housemate, her roommate, Bridget. Bridget. And like she started, I highlighted this part where it says that she started rewinding the scenes of violence and screams, the ones in which the good man character is overtaken by a sadist spirit that drives him to rape and murder teenage girls. And then like her roommate leaves and she just keeps rewatching this. And I'm like, what? And even like I think she said, I mean in that moment I feel like she's comfortable just rewatching it, or maybe she's just like, wait, what's going on? But because then she goes on to watch a movie with a different guy, right? And there was some rape related scene and she's like, I always have to double check on the movie just in case. But I feel like maybe like when she was with her roommate, she was still kind of like blinded by the trauma, not realizing what happened to her. And then obviously not when she was at the movie with that guy, like the veil is off and she knows what happens to her and she does get triggered, which is kind of interesting because I'm like, for the whole book she was like blinded. And then maybe that's why I wasn't a big fan, because just like what the last chapter or so she was like, oh, I can see. After you gave us the whole book where you were like in denial, and I'm like, I don't know, it doesn't happen that easy, but
and she wasn't completely. Oh, go ahead, Corina.
It's okay, Crystal. You go first.
Oh, and it wasn't even like, I feel like it wasn't a big like life-altering heal. It was just a very small like glimpse into like something positive. So I wanted better for her. Like I wanted to see her get better.
I mean it was good that she got some, you know, good little steps here and there. Obviously it wasn't going to be like butterflies and rainbows right away, but it would be kind of nice to be like, hey, she's turning out okay.
Like at least a fast forward to 10 years or something. Like, you know, her dog is like, what she call her, Jolene?
Jo.
Like, oh, she's, you know, she's still there. Like, you know, to see her in a healthy relationship. Like, I would have liked to, you know how they do that in like in 50 Shades, where it's like, oh, fast forward, like they have a family and they're playing in the lawn or whatever. Like, I would have liked to see her.
Yeah. Oh my my gosh. Cora just came by and she's like, like right on the bed. I'm like,
I noticed on the part where she went to go see the movie with a guy, and the movie was about the pedophile case, that she had a lot of anxiety too, where she mentioned that she's like losing her feet and she's shredding the napkin. So I feel like she just had a lot of stuff to work through.
And then he made a comment too, right? And then after that, she's like, I never like replied to him again.
I think so. She said something was like,
they know how to select the weak.
Oh yes.
What did he say?
And then she thinks it was strong. That's what she said. That the guy said about the movie that they know that pedophiles know how to scan a herd to select the weak. And Vanessa didn't like that because then later she says I was strong, and I don't think she ever hit up the guy again.
Yeah.
I don't think she wanted to realize the truth, and he kind of like said something truthful that affected her.
It was like throughout like the end chapters. What was that? Oh, I was saying throughout the end chapters, it was like if she had this veil and little pieces were coming off, and one of those pieces was like, no, you were never strong. No, you were never special. Like you were weak and easy.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I was like, oh God, he is not gonna be okay. Yeah.
I don't know why it was so hard for her to accept that, like the truth of like what it was, why she held on to the thought like I was strong and I wanted it, and
she was in denial. That's why her mind was blocking the pain, I guess.
I think also, I mean, him being alive and still like contacting her, I don't think it made it any easier, because at the end when she has the dog, she's like, he can't, didn't she say he can't see us?
Can't meet her. He's like,
he'll never meet her.
So like maybe in a way,
but he didn't even like dogs.
What
was Babe? Is Babe a pig or a dog?
Dog. It was
a dog. So like when she died, I was so sad.
Yeah. That's also
trying to bring her back, and it wasn't working.
That's also why I'm telling you that it just went so quick. Like, really, you're just gonna like, your dad had a heart attack and his diabetes and all this, and then your freaking, I was gonna call it a pig now. Your dog also like was running and had an aneurysm, and you did some CPR or whatever, and that's it. It died. Well, damn. I don't know. It's
like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe that had to happen for her to wake up to like the fact that she needs to do something. I don't know.
Like she reached her end. Like she's like, this is it. I'm losing too much, and I need to wake up and not even just take action, but just be like aware of everything that's going on and just be present, like actually present.
Yeah,
I mean, and also just be herself and not whatever she was in.
Whatever she was.
Because she couldn't really be that anymore if he wasn't there.
Yeah. She couldn't be Dark Vanessa.
I'm happy that Strange married, because I feel if not, she wouldn't have moved on, like you were saying, Darlene. That had to happen then, because it still took her a while after he died to move on.
Yeah.
If he was alive, she would always be like, oh, he's doing now.
Yeah, because then the therapist was like, well, yeah, you lost a part of yourself. And then she's like, you're right. And she like admitted it. And from there, she could just like see it better.
Yeah.
Birthday boy. He got lots of toys today. Sorry, guys. Oh, watch out.
Are you jealous?
Did you see him?
No, but I said, is that Jolene? And when I said that, she looks up like, who are you
Who's Jolene?
talking to? And she like moved closer to like
who that
the edge. Yeah, for real.
Wow.
She's just bratty because I didn't take her to walk today.
I had a question. I didn't fully understand this part when she was having a conversation with her mom, and her mom brought up like let me read the part. So her mom says like, she asked for forgiveness. I hope you forgive me. And then she's like, let me see. Hearing my mother implicate herself makes me think of Ruby and the frustration she must feel sitting there. And it says that she says, of course I do. I don't tell her again she couldn't have stopped it, that it wasn't her fault, and that she didn't deserve it. I swallowed those words instead. Maybe somewhere deep in my belly they'll take root and grow. Like, what does she mean? They'll take root and grow.
What page is it, Crystal?
Okay, on the PDF, it's page 314.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I'll try to find the part where she's talking to her mom.
So it's like 4 pages from that 2017 before it ends. 4 pages like from that chapter.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what she meant. Like, they'll take root and grow. Like
the feelings, maybe that's what she means, right?
Because, like, what do you mean? Like the hard feelings? Is that what you said?
I think so.
That's what I thought. Like, maybe she would blame her mom for it. Like, maybe she would feel like, why didn't you do something if she, like, admitted that? But I wasn't. Like, I was really confused. But I don't know if any of you, like, understood what she meant by that.
Yeah, I don't.
The frustration they might feel, like, obviously when she's in denial. That's what I'm getting at. And then blaming herself when really it was him.
It sounds like when she would say, like what she would say, oh, it's like he would go to jail or whatever. Like she's always blaming herself. It's because of me he fell in love. That kind of sounds like that.
Maybe she'll swallow those words and that's kind of hard. Oh
yeah, I wasn't sure like how did she feel like yeah, you could have done something or like you should.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I thought at first, but I was like, I don't know.
Because I mean, I'm gonna go back to the whole like the mom and her did not have a super strong foundation. Like I feel like they were always at it. So I feel like by her saying like, I'm telling you like, no, you did great, you're fine. And by her saying like she's swallowing the words, and maybe one day she'll believe it, will take root and grow. But I'm taking it as like one day she'll let these words actually take some meaning, and maybe she'll believe that she could have done something. But that's kind of mean. Like, yes, the mom is supposed to protect you, pero ella que sabía, and like she was also lying, and I think it's tough.
Because the mom says like, oh, I thought I was protecting you because it would have been lawyers and media.
And trials and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, but maybe I should have.
Because she also said she was scared, and I was like, oh, man. Like, I think it's just an overall tough situation. Because, yeah, your mom is out there supposed to protect you, supposed to be the adult. Obviously, in her case, she was like a kid. And it also sucks because the mom doesn't, like, she hasn't been in this situation, you know? I feel like anybody, it's tough to navigate whatever you haven't gone through. And especially when you're
decide what to do.
Yeah, and then when your kid is not really trying to tell you and you're like, I saw the picture, I saw this, I know what's happening to you. But like, is it?
Do you think the mom was right by not publicizing what had happened? Do you think she was right by not, or do you think she should have?
I think she should have.
I would have done it. I was like, obviously the things wouldn't have been the same for her daughter, but I feel like she would have had a better chance of moving on. And going through therapy at 16 would have been easier than going through therapy at, you know, in your 30s.
Yep. And I'm not going to say ruining her life, but like messing up those 7 years of her life.
Right. That was a lot of time to waste.
I was like, Crystal, are you okay? And then the rat appears.
Do you think it could also mean, I mean, because she says, of course I do, but then she's like, I don't tell her again. She couldn't have stopped it. Like, is she referring to those words instead? Like, telling her that and then, like, finally admitting the whole story? Because obviously she's, like, realizing that this has all been bad, but she never told her mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel in some small way she does blame her mom, but she knows that in a way she can't, right? Just because of how their relationship was at the time and how she acted too. I think the mom had some clues, but she probably chose not to pursue it in some way, shape, or form because she also did not want to ruin the relationship with her own daughter, which is a really tough situation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I wish that like her relationship with her mom would have been more positive towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like now that their dad was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's the only family she has.
Mm-hmm.
But
Other than Joe.
I legit thought she was gonna die. Not like suicidal or any of that, but like when she was like, "Oh, stay, come on, stay. The snow, it's snowing outside. Do you have your like snow chains or whatever? All that stuff." And he's like, "No, I'm good." She's like, "Have you gotten your old chains?" She's like, "No, it's fine." And I was like, "He's gonna have a car accident. Oh my god, this is the only way it's gonna end." And I know it didn't. But I was like, I know, but maybe I needed some drama, some actual like fun drama.
Crashes into the dark, snowy night. Vanessa crashes into the dark, snowy night. Like, imagine.
And she reunites with her love strain. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, oh my goodness.
But maybe
you could have rewritten the book of how it end.
Maybe since she stayed though, it was like foreshadowing that her relationship with her mom will improve, right? Because her mom was trying to like be more caring for her and stuff.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. And then like she ended up staying that day, and I mean after that we don't really hear about the mom, right?
Yeah.
No. Oh, and she did let her like what is she like? She tucked her feet in like on her and like let her snore and all that. So it seemed like she was a little more comfortable with her and like physically closer.
Yeah. I guess she's not the primary character, so we don't hear about her more.
Mm-hmm.
If you could have changed anything part of the book, what would you have changed? Judith?
I would have liked Strain to go to jail.
Yeah.
Actually, I was thinking
and then died there.
But then I'm like, would it have?
I think that would have brought a lot more drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have thought like maybe like after Vanessa, that whole thing like started unraveling, that more stories started to come up from like the past, whatever 20 some years that he had taught before. I would have thought more would have come forward, you know, from the beginning of his career. That's what I thought was going to happen. And like the rest was going to be like a trial or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, part of the reason I gave the book a 4 instead of a 3 was because I thought about all the themes that they cover in terms of like the Me Too movement, mental illness, and just psychology, going to therapy and all that stuff. But now that you say that, Crystal, you know, I feel like it was mentioned a little bit, but I felt like going into the book that they were going to pay more attention to that kind of stuff too, right? And talk about more what happens in schools, what happens
like
in
the
colleges,
legal stuff. Yeah.
About those issues. Like I would have liked to see some repercussions for the school too, because it definitely was a CPS issue.
That is true. Because there was a section.
They got away with it in a sense.
Yeah, they were kind of like, oh, we investigated and blah blah blah, and that was it.
Yeah, at the end they're like, oh, we're what are they? They're adding sexual harassment classes.
Yeah, and then with training and who knows what. And I'm like, but you didn't really take action.
And then she was mentioning the teacher. She's like, I can't imagine this teacher caring about like let me take care of my student, or like she said, like the teachers are not gonna care.
Yeah.
About those
Right.
trainings, nothing's gonna change.
Yeah. I don't
Crazy
know.
stuff.
I don't know what I would have changed. It was interesting.
And also, I would have let the dog live.
You would have left what?
Let the dog live. I don't like it when dogs die in books. That always makes me very sad.
Yeah.
Like, why'd they have to add that Babe died? We could have just, envisioned the rest of her life peaceful.
I know.
After she got kicked. The one scene that she got kicked to the curb.
That's what cost it.
I know.
Time.
Anyways, she hit her head so hard that it built up over the
And I'm pretty sure she decided to like kill him just so she can have this other dog, but still it's
like
we didn't have to know that Babe died. We could just thought, oh, she died of old age.
Mm-hmm.
Like you.
They went into detail with Babe, like
like that was
aneurysm,
a character
walking
she didn't really
out,
need to add in there.
and we're trying to revive her.
Oh no. You guys are breaking up.
I don't know why I think it's funny.
I'm going to turn my camera off. I couldn't hear anything right now.
What? Oh,
Hopefully that helps.
She couldn't hear. We were breaking out.
Oh.
All I said was, "Do you want me to repeat?" Just that the dog was walking out, and the aneurysm, and pumping, and he had died.
The pumping.
The pumping. I will survive.
Yeah. Oh, pobrecita.
Well, I think the new dog was definitely like a metaphor for a new fresh start, a new opportunity. Like, because even Strain had touched the other dog, like he affected his life and hurt. And this new dog is like never ever going to be affected by
Why?
Maybe that's why the author included that. Like, oh, this is her new beginning. Like that's
it's
like
a
it
fresh
made it
new
clear
start.
she will never meet
Clean,
that dog.
But tell me why I kept thinking like fucking Strain is gonna reincarnate into this dog. I was terrified.
Like the Guardian?
I was terrified. Yes. I think it's because of the Guardian, the book we read, and I was like,
it's Jim.
When she kept saying like, oh, he's never gonna meet you, and then when the dog was like looking at her and she's like, you're here, and I was like, is that him talking? Like, what the fuck? Nah, bruh. No, we can't go. No. I hate this book. And then it didn't happen. It's all good.
So it's all good. I give it a 3.
Yeah, 3 is okay. I fell asleep a few parts.
I think a 3.5. I'm changing mine to 3.5.
I found it really easy to read, though. That's one thing. I found it really easy to read.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, but it's not my cup of joe. It's just not.
The next one will definitely give us some goosebumps.
I read the first 2 chapters. It's delightfully creepy already. Not too scary. Not yet.
I get nightmares. Oh.
I never watch scary movies. I get traumatized. I'm about to send you guys a picture of the book in the freezer.
We're thinking Sunday.
Okay. But we haven't said the pages, have we?
No.
I said part 1.
Okay.
This is a small book, so it says it's 82. But Karina has the bigger book, right, Karina? And yours is
do you want me to grab it?
And yours is like 57 or something like that. I think on the PDF it was like 42. I sent the PDF.
Oh.
I believe.
Yeah. So part 1, it's 57. That's not bad.
Part 1 on the big book.
It's outside my door. I haven't even opened the package.
57.
It's like I got it, but didn't open it.
I got it, but I don't want to open it until it's too late.
I'm scared. The past 2 days I've been telling Luis I'm scared. I keep reading reviews to see if I don't know, it can make it sound less scary. Yeah. 57.
Yeah. So the PDF, I followed it, and it's page 42. The one that me and Darlene have, it's page 82. It's like double because it's puny. And then, and your guys' book is 57. I don't think it's too bad.
Not bad. Yeah.
I think it is interesting. The part I read so far.
It's dead. Asleep. Oh. He's like, I'm camera shy.
Yeah, right. We usually don't let him on the bed.
Crystal, have you shown your students the rats?
I did. I showed them a video. I thought they were cute.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Mm.
He gives you licks. Like Harry.
Oh.
Harry.
Like, antes de que te cagues o te mies, ahí va para abajo.
I know. Sometimes they sneeze too, and like I guess like snot comes out. You can feel the droplets. Yeah. But I get allergies to them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I think during allergy season, or when I'm like I have allergies in general, like they'll pop up, like I'll get like rashes if I touch them, or if, like when they lick me or scratch me.
Mm.
I know, I'm so sad. I feel like
that happened to me last week with a cat.
With a cat?
Yeah, because I'm allergic to cats.
I know. I think I am too. I'm really bummed because I wanted a cat.
You did?
The cat will eat the rats, though.
Huh?
The cat will eat the rats, though.
Oh, I know. Not at the same time.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah. No, not right. Like eventually.
A turtle.
Oh, yeah.
I'm team turtle.
My school has a chameleon.
Oh.
A chameleon, that'd be cool. But they just like chill there and like you can see their eyes moving.
Change colors and shit.
Yeah, it's really cute.
One of the principals had pet rats, and she would let the classes keep them as classroom pets for like 2 weeks. So like they go around to the classes. But they were huge. Well, I remember them being huge. They're probably the same size now, but I thought before, like, dang, like these rats are huge. But they were old already.
They're probably getting fed by everybody.
I know.
Each kid trying to give them like 2 little pieces.
I feel like, I don't know. I don't even think they're good at classroom pets. Like, based off of their needs, they need to be taken out for exercise. And I don't think the kids, like the schools, would do that.
No, you wouldn't be allowed to let them out.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's sad. It's cute to think about, like, oh, yeah, they are pets, but you're not really giving them what they need. And they like to come out at nighttime too, and like interact at nighttime, and no one's there.
Mm-hmm. How often do you exercise?
Look, let me show you guys. They're so cute. They're like trying to cuddle. How do we? Oh.
Oh, they're looking at me.
And likes that. Yeah, I mean, like they're like there they are. Like super cuddly with each other sometimes, and then they'll fight.
You're like, okay, that's enough.
And then sometimes like they'll let us pet them, so like they'll like close their eyes when we're petting them, and then other times they'll like move our finger over, or like they'll walk away. But they're cute.
Okay. Stop recording. I should stop recording now.
Jesus. I feel like it was silent for 3 seconds. Okay.
What?
No.